My heart rate is like through the roof right
Why
now
is that?
because of that snake right there. I don't do snakes.
So what now?
I heard it rattle. I heard it rattle and it looked at me and I ran.
I'll probably go down to probably 15. The sand looks pretty soft.
Welcome back to part 2 of our epic Utah adventure. In this episode, our team will be pushing hard to make miles in order to cross the border into Utah. We have a few exciting stops to make along the way, so let's get right into it. If you haven't seen part 1, let me fill you in. We left Calgary, Alberta 3 days ago with a goal in mind to see the deserts and slick rock of Utah in our 4-wheel drive vehicles. So far, we've managed to navigate 1,067 kilometers south, equal to 663 miles, through British Columbia, Montana, and now Idaho. We've just packed up camp and are on the road again to one very special place.
Today we get to go to one of the places that has been on my bucket list for many, many years now. It's called the Land Cruiser Heritage Museum, and it's a museum in Salt Lake City, Utah, and it has almost every single style and iteration of Land Cruiser ever built. I think they need like 1 or 2 more models to complete the their collection, but I've seen and heard so many different things about this place that I'm just so excited to go and finally see it for myself. The vehicles that I'm most excited to see, the E7, the Expedition 7 trip. If you've ever read about it or watched their videos, they took Land Cruiser troop carriers and they drove on every single continent, all 7 continents, and they named the expedition E7. And they have the vehicles that they used at this museum here. So come along with us and we'll show you everything we can see. There it is. Well,
snack break.
The Land Cruiser Heritage Museum is one of those places that attracts visitors from around the globe. The museum began in a building at the former Miller Motorsports Park in Tooele, Utah, but was relocated to Salt Lake City in 2015 for easier access to guests who wish to visit. The goal of the museum is to acquire and display one of every model of Land Cruiser ever produced, which is well over 100. The museum aims to preserve and celebrate the history of these incredible machines for years to come.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. Usually I get excited when I see one Land Cruiser. To see like almost 100 of them sitting here from all over the world. Oh my God, mind blown.
Very cool. This was an old tag-along FJ55 built in 1978, and it was used in tag-along tours just outside of Moab up the Colorado River. Man, I just love how much character is in these vehicles. It's not shiny, it's not perfect, but it's amazing just what this thing has been through. I love how they have all these Land Cruiser engines on display here. Everything from 2F, 2UZ, 3URFE, just classic engines. The 1VD, very cool. So this 2012 Toyota Land Cruiser Troop Carrier was one of the Expedition 7 vehicles that has been on all 7 continents. They imported it from New Zealand to Utah where they built it, and from there it was driven on multiple continents. Actually, it was driven on all continents. So it's so amazing to actually see this vehicle in person. It's just so inspiring.
The Expedition 7 journey is an exceptional story of incredible events. It is especially inspiring to me because it proves over and over again that if you put your mind to something and stay persistent, you can accomplish amazing things. If you're looking for inspiration and advice at any point in your life, there's no better place to find it than by turning to the people that have been there and done it before you. These vehicles not only represent a remarkable adventure, but also serve as a reminder to the endless possibilities of adventure travel. The team and I are so grateful and overjoyed to have the opportunity to see these vehicles in person. I can't recommend enough that you come here and experience this wonderful museum for yourself.
That's the last FJ ever produced.
Oh, like an FJ Cruiser.
Yes, an FJ Cruiser. What a cool thing. Brand new. Let's go look at the badge. And this one has 0 kilometers on it, which is just crazy. And the dealership sticker. And the plastic's still on the roof. That's cool. Based on the Daihatsu rubber and is equipped with a 2.4 liter turbo diesel engine, producing 72 horsepower.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It is an LD20 Blizzard.
Toyota Blizzard, eh?
So we're just on our way to camp, and we've been passing these salt flats mile after mile after mile here. We're just west of Salt Lake City, and we're getting super close to Bonneville Salt Flats, where they set like land speed records all the time. I'm not sure if this is actually the Bonneville Salt Flat, but we're pretty close. So I've never been on a salt flat before, and I'm not sure if this is like the same stuff like that you find in a salt shaker, but I tried it a little earlier and it was pretty bitter. It's a land speed record! Okay, let's go now. No. Where'd you go? Oh! So we just pulled off the highway here, gonna let our tire pressures down, and then we are kind of like on the border between Utah and Nevada, right by the Bonneville Salt Flats, just in these mountains here behind us. So we're gonna go find a camp down these dirt roads and
go from there. But this place looks super cool. It's been a long time since I've been to a desert setting, so this is much different than what I'm usually used to.
Object.
Tonight we find camp in the Silver Island mountain range on the border of Utah and Nevada. This range extends 32 miles east from the Nevada border into Utah. To the west lies Pilot Valley Playa, and further east lies the Great Salt Lake Desert. The camp spot we have chosen tonight is located up a steep, rutted out trail with loose rock and dirt on the way up. Having capable four-wheel drive vehicles makes reaching this spot possible. Camp is soon deployed, and we dig in for a peaceful night under the desert stars. Good morning, everyone. It is the morning of day 5 for us here on our Utah trip. We had an excellent night last night. It was a bit windy when we rolled in, and we rolled in just as the sun was pretty much set, so it was dark. We woke up to this amazing scenery around us. We are in the northwest tip of the state of Utah, very close to the border of Nevada, actually. We crossed over into Nevada last night to fill up, get some gas, and then we crossed right back over into Utah. So we're kind of on that Utah-Nevada border, just outside the Bonneville Salt Flats. There's some foothills and mountainous regions in this area, and it's just incredible, the desert scenery and everything. Now, like I mentioned, it did get really, really windy. We're kind of like on this mountain pass up here. It's stunningly gorgeous, although it did get quite windy. So our goal today is we're heading south towards Sand Hollow and Hurricane, not sure how you pronounce it, but we're gonna start making our way in that general direction. So it's kind of my morning ritual here. When I wake up after having some breakfast, I like to go through the Land Cruiser before we start our journey wherever we're going. I'll just run through the basic stuff, check all the fluids, I'll check the oil, I'll check the coolant, I'll get underneath the vehicle. Not looking for anything specific, just seeing if anything's if anything looks off, if anything's hanging down, if anything's leaking. That'll just give me kind of a good sense of the overall health of the vehicle, and if any interventions need to be taken before we get on the road. It can save you a big hassle in the long run if you just kind of do a quick check over the vehicle in the morning and go from there.
the sooner I biked over here at these pools, I was like, there's gonna be something that I don't like. And sure enough, I stand right on top of the thing, and look, he's just staring at me.
What kind of snake is it?
A rattlesnake, terrifying rattlesnake.
Did you hear it rattle?
I heard it rattle. I heard it rattle, and it looked at me, and I ran. So it's moving when I move?
Its tail, you'll see its tail stick up, stiffen up, and then start rattling immediately.
So we are now at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. This is where they set the land speed world records. There's not much out here except a lot of salt. In our experience, we've found that a lot of gas stations have places to fill up your water jugs. So it's always a good idea to check that out and fill them up when you have the chance. We just pulled off the highway here, taking a little rest stop. And behind me are what looks like an abandoned motel or something. One there and one there. So we're gonna go poke our nose in there and see what the deal is.
Oh, I don't know, about looks of the way they did the framing here, I'd say she's probably built 1980s, maybe 70s, something like that, you know. And then by the smell, you smell that?
Well, that was kind of fun.
It's definitely not an old building.
No.
Checking out these old abandoned hotel rooms. They don't look that old. Maybe a few years ago, we were thinking maybe COVID had something to do with this place shutting down. Because there's literally there's a satellite dish on the side of the building, so it can't be too old. Tonight, we as a group have decided that it's time for a shower, actually. So we're not really keen on the idea of renting a hotel or a motel to stay in. However, we do need a shower and a good reset. It's been about 5 days in the bush now with doing some random camping. So what we've decided is to stay at an RV park just in Sand Hollow here. We're just coming in Sand Hollow in the next 30 minutes, I'd say. And we've, yeah, like I said, we've decided to stay in an RV park where they'll have showers, a place to camp, and a good place for us to reset.
Sand Hollow State Park lies just 9 miles from the city of Hurricane. The park was created in April 2003 and surrounds the Sand Hollow Reservoir. It features 1,322 acres of recreational land and an extensive range for off-highway vehicle use. It also features multiple shower and restroom areas that we could really use right about now. Our favorite part of the Sand Hollow Park was the primitive camping area. Even though you're in the park, four-wheel drive and low pressures are needed to get to those stunning camp spots.
Even though this is like an RV park, there is primitive camping. So we're gonna air these tires down because we're on some soft sand, head towards the water.
Sand is nice and cool.
He said whips like dance moves? I don't know.
Now what are you wearing down to?
I'll probably go down to probably 15. This sand looks pretty soft, so don't want to risk it getting stuck.
We find a quiet spot by the water's edge and settle in for another beautiful evening in the heart of Utah.
Hey guys, so we had a bit of a slow morning, got packed up around 8 a.m. The place we were at had showers, thankfully, which was really much needed after a few days in the hot bush, right? So we packed up, then we had to do some running around, some fueling up, go to Walmart, gas station, had to find some water. So just kind of a lot of errands and chores being done this morning. Not super interesting or fun, but just part of life. And now we are headed towards Zion National Park. Sorry if this is very bumpy. We're headed towards Zion National Park, but right now we were just on our way to Zion National Park on the highway, and I saw this public lands area, and it looked like there were some interesting trails out here, so we kind of pulled off the highway, and now we're on some red dirt. Looks like there's a bit of an overlook that we're going to try to go see there, and yeah, so come along with us on this on whatever today is going to bring. I'm not quite sure what to tell you, but it'll be fun. Guys, it is so hot out here. It's like we gotta be taking it easy, drinking lots of water, being mindful of how much time we're spending in the direct sunlight. Otherwise, things could go pretty bad out here. Unfortunately, we're not too remote right now, but we are definitely not used to this kind of heat being from where we are in Calgary, Alberta. I think this little spray bottle is like the best $2 I've ever spent.
Zion National Park has also been on the list of places to visit for a long time, and even though we didn't get to spend as much time exploring everything as we wanted to, we still managed to get out of the vehicle, find a quiet spot in the trees, and enjoy a nice meal. This is what it's all about. On the way to camp that evening, Mike experienced the unfortunate event of hitting a bird while on the highway. Thankfully, no damage was reported to the vehicle or either passenger. I'm not sure about the bird on the other hand.
That was terrifying.
Literally nothing. That we're so lucky.
Yeah.
That would be
So lucky.
not good.
It was a bit of a rough night last night. I started experiencing some symptoms of heat exhaustion. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of our Utah adventure. In part 3, things really start to heat up on the trails of Moab. We hope to see you there. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our All Terrain Trails YouTube channel. We would greatly appreciate it.
Let's go wheeling.